Hey strangers, welcome to the strange universe where it's not about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you have always been. Isn't it strange how we spend so much of our lives chasing things that we're told matter? The money, the status, the admiration of complete strangers, only to realize one day that none of it makes us feel whole. If you've ever felt like you're living a life that was scripted for you, not by you, if you've ever looked in the mirror and you've thought, God, there's gotta be more out there, there's gotta be more to life than this, then stay with me, because this message might be the wake-up call that you didn't know that you were waiting for. But first, if you've been watching these videos, you know the deal. The world, it's a strange place. It keeps us sick, it keeps us busy, and it keeps us distracted. So right now, we're going to go ahead and do the cosmic reset. So in a moment, you're going to take in a deep breath and you're going to think about all the noise that's been clouding your mind. The pressure to succeed, to impress, to prove yourself. Now take in that deep breath. And I want you to imagine stripping all that away just for a moment. And I want you to wrap all that anxiety in that breath and release. Good. All right. Now that you're present, let's talk about being simple. I was driving through Malibu the other day. The windows were down, the sun was setting, and the song A Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd came on the radio. You know the one, Mama told me when I was young, right? And it reminded me of a conversation that I'd had that morning with a friend. Now, I've heard that song 100 times before, but this time, with that conversation, I heard it, not with my ears, but deeper inside, like right inside of my soul. It wasn't just a mother's advice that she was giving to her son. It was a blueprint to being a whole man in a broken world. I heard the words, take your time, don't live too fast, troubles will come and they will pass. Well, you see, society teaches us to hustle, to grind, to chase success like oxygen. But no one taught me how to sit in stillness, to breathe and to listen. I think, of course, this is all out of necessity, but I've always mistaken urgency for, purpose. But being a man, it's not about how fast I grow, it's about how deeply I'm really rooted. And to be a simple kind of man, to be something that I can love and that I can understand, well, that's really at the heart of it, isn't it? We've complicated manhood, I think. We've made it into dominance, wealth, power. But the real strength of a man is also in his gentleness, in his presence, and I think in his clarity. It's not about the one who can shout the loudest, but who can stand the calmest in the storm. Being a simple man, it doesn't mean being small. It means being clear, uncomplicated. It means being aligned with your soul instead of being tangled in other people's expectations. So let's be real for a second. Most men, I think they're starving, not for food, not for sex, not even for success. That was the old ways. We're starving today for meaning, for connection, and for peace. But again, we've been raised in a culture that tells us that we have to hide that. A culture that tells us that emotion is weakness, that silence is something to be avoided, not entertained. But awakening starts with stopping the chase long enough to ask yourself, do I even know who I am under this mask? And that, my friends, that's the moment where if you let it, the real work can begin. Now, I remember a time in my life when I did everything that I was told would make me a good man. I worked hard. I worked harder than everybody else. I provided, I protected, I wore the mask. I was strong. But at night, I just felt empty. I kept looking for peace in all the wrong places, in relationships and accomplishments and any type of distraction I could find. But the more I chased, the farther away I felt from myself. It wasn't really until I stopped chasing that I actually started becoming. I started praying differently. Not God, give me what I want, but God, show me who I am and what you want me to be. And slowly, and trust me, it's taken a lifetime and I'm still not there, but I think I'm beginning to understand what that song really means. The best version of a man isn't the one with the most accomplishments. It's the one who's kind, the one who listens. It's not the one who needs to be loud to be heard. It's the one who can hold space for pain, his own pain, and for others, without turning cold to the world. The best man isn't afraid to love. He welcomes in love. In fact, he radiates it. He looks at a child and he smiles, not because it's expected, but because he remembers what it means to see the world with that innocent wonder. He slows down enough to notice the space between the trees. I know that sounds crazy, but he pays attention to the way that animals speak without words, the way the universe is whispering all the time. Just be you. That's all it ever asks of any of us. So here's the challenge for today, and it's simple, but not always easy. Tonight, when the noise quiets, ask yourself, am I living for love or for approval? Am I being honest with myself? What would I look like if I just stopped trying to be the man that the world wants me to be and just started being me? And then sit with that. No judgment, no shame, but as a possibility of truly being free. And from that place, if the answer is no, then we can always start again. You see, life, it doesn't ask me to be perfect. It just asks me to be present. That means I have to love fully, that I have to live honestly, that I have to walk lightly and speak truth in my eyes and not with brute force. So if you're listening to this, take it as a sign. The world doesn't need another strong, tough guy. Sometimes the toughest thing that we can do is take a good look at ourselves. And the world needs that today. It needs your heart, it needs your story, it needs your peace and how you found that. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to live true. Just be a simple man or woman. So, if this message spoke to you, I want you to drop a comment below. I want you to share a moment, if you can, when you realize that strength isn't about being in control. It's sometimes about just letting go. And if you're walking this road and you're trying to live with more truth, more presence, more love, you're not alone. This community, we have your back. So until next time, I want you to be kind to yourself, be gentle with your growth, and always, always remember, you are strong, you are simple if you want to be, and you, my friend, are loved. I love you.